trying to record, and for some reason it kept getting blurry. 73 degrees. So I'm not going to be very long anyway, but I posted a picture of my so-called engagement ring. And I say so-called engagement ring because there's a story behind it, and I'm just going to give the short version of it. Many years ago, yes, years ago, when I first brought up marriage into our relationship, the husband was like, well, that should come from me, not you. And I said, exactly, but I'm just bringing it up because we've been together for so long already, and I'm just wondering when we're gonna ever move forward, because I don't like living like this, and I understand that I need to get a divorce first from the estranged husband, which I've already talked about. And, but I would like to know where I stand with you, So, he felt like I kept pushing the idea, and I wasn't pushing it at all. And around that time, this will tell you how many years back it was, Zales had the Disney line, and Belle, Beauty and the Beast has always been my favorite Disney movie of all time. I've always loved Beauty and the Beast. And they had a ring. She had a ring. And he said, okay, we're going to go to Zales and we're going to look at that ring that you want. And we'll get it, and that'll be your engagement ring. And I said, really? So I was all excited. So we go to Zales at the mall. We see the ring, and the ring had a very tiny diamond, but it was so elegant and classy. And that's what I really loved about it. And plus, it's Belle's ring, And so I said, yeah, I really want this one. And I believe the ring was about $200 or so. It wasn't very expensive. It was not, I don't think that's really expensive for an engagement ring. $200, and it's the Disney ring, and it was real. It wasn't like fake or anything. It wasn't fake jewelry. It was real. And he said no. No, I'm not going to get you that ring. And I just stood there and I was like, why not? You said I could pick out the ring, and this is the one I really want. And so by that point, a sales lady came over to us, asked if we needed any help, and he said yes, he was looking for a real engagement ring. And then he told her, does that look like an engagement ring to you? And he pointed to the Belle ring, and she's like, well, it can be, but we do have others if you'd like to look at those. So she's just trying to make a sale, right? That's her job. So I don't blame her at all. So he sees other rings. He picks out that one, the one that I posted a picture of, and that ring was $800 at the time. And I was like, I really don't want this $800 ring. To me, it's not about the price of the ring. It's how much it's going to mean to me. And of course, this ring had a bigger diamond, and he just kept arguing with me like, no, I'm not going to get you that other one. I'm going to get you this one, and that's it. So of course, he made payments on that ring. I think it was like 2 payments that he made, but I couldn't have the ring until it was fully paid. So it took about 2 months for me to get it. When he gave me this ring, it wasn't even your regular proposal, the get down on one knee, Will you take me to be your husband? I want you to be my wife. I want to live together, spend the rest of our life together, type of thing, whatever it is that they say. 'Cause I was proposed to once, a long, long time ago, by my younger son's dad, but we didn't follow through. But anyhow, that was more sincere than this was. But like I said, it wasn't a traditional proposal. I feel like I have to move this a little further so my face don't come out. And instead, he sat right next to me on the bed, and he looks at me, and he says, and he holds up the ring on his fingers like this, and he says, I'm going to give you this ring, but you need to promise that you're going to start listening to me, you're not going to talk back to me, and you're going to do as I say. I thought he was joking. I was just like, what? Are you serious? Like, is this guy serious? No. And I was like, sure, okay. Because, that's the kind of humor I have. I'm always like, well, at least I used to be. I was always laughing and making jokes and stuff. And so I was like, yeah, sure, okay. So he puts it on my finger. And then he walks away. And I'm like, wait a minute. Like, shouldn't we hug now? Shouldn't we kiss? Shouldn't we, celebrate, being intimate or something, isn't that what you're supposed to do? But he just walks away. And I'm sitting there on the bed with this ring, and I'm looking at it. And don't get me wrong, it is beautiful to me. But it wasn't the ring that I wanted. And here we are, years later. And I came across that reel on Instagram that I did post on my shorts about, the man narrating how he met a girl at the club and how she was full of life and how he slowly just took that away from her. That reminded me so much of a story of us. Of course, I'm still here. He's still here. Physically, my life never ended. Emotionally, it did. Because I'm not the same person anymore. I don't joke as often anymore, especially with him. And anyhow, what really stood out to me about that reel was the one about the ring. When he said to her it was a promise, but to me it was security. I am automatically, in my mind, I went back to that day when I was told that I better listen, not talk back, and do as he says. And then I started thinking about the time that when we went to the Zales, right, to the jewelry store, and how I really wanted that other ring, and he picked out this ring. And then I realized that it wasn't a promise. It wasn't a proposal. It was control. If I give her this ring, I can have total control because I just convinced her that someday it'll happen. Well, here we are years later, and it never happened. And now I know why. And it's been this way through the years. And the fact that now, more than ever, he throws it in my face that whenever I upset him, whenever I say anything to upset him, and you want to be my wife, and you want to get married, and you want a wedding, look at the way you're acting. Look at what you're saying. So that ring, I would wear it around him. I still wear it to church on Sundays. And you want to know the real reason I wear it to church on Sundays? Because I don't want anybody to think that I'm single. Because I'm not, technically. But I just don't want that door to be opened. When he's not home, I don't wear it. When he comes home, I wear it. And I was already told that that ring was not an engagement ring. It was a promise ring to someday get me an engagement ring, to someday get me a wedding ring. So, one time that I forgot to wear it when he was home, I was asked, why was I not wearing that ring? And I said, you said it wasn't an engagement ring. You said it was just a promise ring. And so he threatened to pawn it. If it doesn't mean anything to me, then he's just gonna pawn it. Why did he waste all that money on me? And I'm standing there thinking to myself, I never asked you to spend that much money on me. I am the most simplest girl you will ever meet. I'm not high maintenance. I'm not expensive. But to stand there and tell me that you wasted money on me? On a ring that you never even meant as an engagement ring? So yeah, there's some more to this story. There's some more to the story of this relationship. And here's the thing. I do love this man very, very much. I just don't like him. And I am trying so hard to be the person he wants me to be. And I can't find it. I've even sent messages when I get home after picking up my son. He's already asleep. He's a truck driver. He goes to bed early. And so I'll send him, something like, I'm home, my love, or we're home, my love. I miss you. Can't wait to see you. Can't wait till you get home. And then I'll put the little heart emoji on there. And he started to respond back recently. And will say, miss you too. And will send the little heart to me. And this will go on for days, sometimes even weeks. But then all of a sudden, I I get hit with a curveball and I get put in check. I am not the one in control. He is. So I may share more. I may not. Just give me time. And the reason I'm sharing is just to bring awareness. It's not for sympathy. Just bringing awareness. Love you all.